you very much, everybody.
Fight and fight we will. It's been 9 days, 0 hours, 1 minute and 40 seconds since the last Q post, Shady. Again, look at that. Look at that.
You mean it's not been 2 months since the last Q post?
No, it's been a lot more than that. It's been what, 40 days and 30 nights, or I don't know how many ever it is, man.
I tell you, the rumors out there are swirling that there is no more Q as the deep state and the swamp goes down the drain. Good morning, Matrixxx. How you doing?
Good morning. Q Leatherneck Smudley Baker says, bridge the rift between Neon Revolt. I don't have a rift with anyone, and if you believe fake news, believe fake news, Daily Beast, and that's it. So, God, bless Neon Revolt. Real quick, though, today in Tiananmen Square is the anniversary.
30 years.
Yeah, for Tiananmen Square, May 1988. It was the Tiananmen Square massacre and all of that. Man, crazy.
A lot of the whippersnappers out there might not quite remember this one.
Yep. It went from 15 April to June 4th, which is today. And on our thing here, let's take a look at this. So that's Tiananmen Square. Look at all those people out there holding candles. Very amazing. So let's along with National Cheese Day, let's pay homage to the Tiananmen Square's 30th anniversary in Hong Kong.
And the dramatic loss of freedom in China since that occurred, man. I mean, the world we're living in today compared to 30 years ago is pretty remarkably different.
That's right. Oh, look, and our video has 512,000 views, Shady, and I have to like it again. It went from 15.5 to 15. It's funny. I mean, obvious, Twitter, I'm showing you your own, censorship. You figure that they could, knock it off a little bit. Tomorrow is going to be a very special show. We are going to have the Paul Saran on Twitter, on our show tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. I can't wait to talk with Paul. He's an amazing patriot. He's got 65 new tweets since I last looked at him. He works very hard. He has a very good view. He's been cued, and he's going to come on the show as well. Can't wait to have Paul Saran, Shady.
I'm just so excited to have all of these voices finally starting to come together and speak to the masses. The people are going to need this information, guys, and we got to be ready for them.
That's it, and we're going to be ready for them. I mean, there's a bunch of little rifts going on right now with a bunch of fake news, Patriots fighting Patriots. It's absolutely very sad. I hope real Anons can see through it, and I think they do. I think they do. This show, I named it. It's not about AT&T, right? Nothing to do with AT&T, and there's a reason for that, right? Let me go down to my posts here. Oh, by the way, our D-Day is coming on the 6th, right, Shady? So we stand together, united, not divided. Where we go, one, we go all Q. So D-Day is coming, guys. And I don't know if you remember this post by Q+.
I remember.
Do you remember this one, 2629?
I do.
12:19:18 at 18:23 and 03 seconds. D-Day, Patriots. We will have our country back. Q+. Very amazing. Very, very, very amazing with that. So I wanted to just kind of go through that. And also, George Papadopoulos was on Ann Vandersteel last night. If you didn't catch that show, go ahead and get it. Very good show. I've got the link right here. I'm going to drop the tweet for you guys. You know that Robert Mueller and the fake news are still saying that George Papadopoulos was a Russian asset on TV, right? Right, absolutely.
He's been out here doing interviews on in the mainstream since it's been 2 months now, telling everyone I never talked to Russians. I never spoke to you. And they're still like, even Mueller coming out saying that, it's like, wow, people, come on now. And Mueller's got some other issues too, by the way.
Absolutely. And I want my country back, Q-Man. You know what, Q-Man? I actually want my country for the very first time. I don't even know if we really even had our country, guys.
Barely for 100 years, if even.
I don't even think then, Shady. I'm sorry.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying. It's like,
we are going to get our country for the first time, is what I'm saying.
The central bank system did not want you to have it.
No, the bloodlines did not want you to have it. That's right. Look at this. I got an email or a DM from George Papa 19 saying thank you for the support. And I want to let you know I ordered my book today from Amazon Prime. It's Target, Deep State Target by George Papadopoulos. Please, support George if you can, if you feel inclined. His book is on Amazon right here. And there you go. There you go. It's a good book. There's a Kindle copy for $9.99. There's an audio book. There's a hardcover for $18. Money well spent and here's the link for the Amazon right there to grab it if you guys want to grab it. Okay, so thank you, George, for the DM. I did ask him to see if he'd come on the show, so let's see if George Papadopoulos gets on the Matrixxx Groove Hour. That would be awesome.
Well, the Anons sure do know. If anyone out there supports him and understands what he's went through, look at the process. What did they put him in jail for, like 14 days? This is just ridiculous.
Yep. And I'm getting emails from George Papadopoulos DMs. I am so honored. And he's not the only one that's up there in the fray that the intheMatrixxx accounts gets DMs from. So to me, that's a badge of honor. Obviously, very, very excited about that. Then we've got the Rothschild guy. Anons had special access to secret knowledge only in the check notes of the Constitution of the United States. He's referencing my tweet here. Adam Schiff admits we can't impeach Trump. It will fail in the Senate. We knew that. Obviously, we knew that. We also know that impeachment requires facts, Mr. Rothschild, and it also requires 2/3 of the Senate vote. We knew we were going to grab the Senate and not the House, but FISA will bring down the House.
It's like no one really wants to have a conversation about, like, tell us what you're impeaching him for. Just say it.
That's right.
No one will say it. They can't say. There's nothing. The investigation is over, and look at what you got here in general with the mass collective consciousness. They've worked people up into an obtuse fervor of, like, emotional reactionaryism.
Yeah, and then he said, do you know how stupid this sounds? The Senate, the target. Every election, the House was also the target. You failed miserably to hit. And I said, FISA will bring down the House. 53. We knew everything, guys. This guy, if you want to go over there, I just dropped the link over there. If you want to go troll him and tell him hello, tell him Matrixxx sent you.
And speak trolling.
Tell him Matrixxx sent you, and have a great day, sir.
Don't hesitate.
Don't hesitate. This is interesting too. We had Q post 873 on 3718, and it said at Snowden, we are going live in -24, and it says comb your hair in Killbox. This scares them more than anything. Loss of control. Use logic. Nothing to do with AT&T.
So we have the AT&T in with the comb your hair. Right. Interesting.
So do you remember when our POTUS was at the church?
And he had his hair combed, and then he tweeted yesterday about AT&T?
Yeah.
The day after, right?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. we might have put it up here yesterday.
5-5 POTUS, dark to light. Again, just to recap, if you missed the show yesterday, the POTUS said, I believe that if the people, STOPED, stoped, not stopped, using or subscribing to AT&T, they would be forced to make big changes at CNN, which is dying in the ratings anyway. It is so unfair with such bad fake news. Why wouldn't they why wouldn't they act? Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm like too busy decoding, but it's just act. Why wouldn't they act? When the world watches, the world is watching, right? We've got that. At CNN, it gets a false picture of the USA. Sad. And reason why it gets a false picture of the USA, in my opinion, right, is that in 1872, a pay-sewer company called the Charleston, Cincinnati, and Chicago Railroad established a telegraph company called the Western Union. It formed a subsidiary called AT&T in 1875 and is today's one of America's biggest telephone and communication companies. So it is a pay-sewer company. It is owned by the same 3 railroads that started the Federal Reserve banking system. So this is not just about AT&T.
It's one of the companies that backs the whole system, guys.
Yes, it's the bloodlines, guys. It's the bloodlines. Right. So comb your hair, AT&T, tweet, amazing. Here's the tweet. I'm dropping it for you guys now if you guys want to go ahead and check it out.
Talking about CNN, connecting CNN to AT&T, and listen to for maybe a lot of people that don't remember, AT&T before wireless or cell phones, AT&T was the market controller, and they had an unbelievable monopoly on the market for communicating by a telephone, a landline, and they weren't very cheap, and they pretty much controlled all the pricing for decades, man.
Right, absolutely. And
in the whole market.
And the whole market, absolutely. You know what? I've got to turn off this thing. The intro.
Monopoly.
There we go. So we got Mueller's star witness, Nader, busted on child porn charges. Here's the article from the Gateway Pundit. Mueller's star witness, George Nader, indicted on child porn charges. He's a Lebanese businessman and one of Mueller's star witnesses and has been indicted on child pornography charges. The 4 a.m. talking points underneath my thread apparently is that, he was a Trump, helper. He's Trump. But, what they don't realize is that we know our stuff, because there he is looking gazingly into President Clinton's eyes, the impeached president, Bill Clinton, gazing into his eyes. And it says, will the rich and powerful influence the court to prevent the unsealing? Follow the attorney who took the pic. Who was located behind the camera? Sex trafficking is real. Alan, thank you very much. And Tanette, I thank you too, very, very much. Thank you for that. So we know, guys, Anons know, okay? Anons know that this was going to happen, and this is happening. This is back in May 21st, 18. Mueller's star witness against Trump caught partying with Bill Clinton. There's the article from Mill News, basically, saying there it is.
Bill Clinton had an impeachment where they were actually guilty verdicts handed down.
I know, right? But yet we still idolize this guy, right?
It's insane.
I don't know why everybody likes me. I thought I was fucked. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, Bill, you can't swear on this channel. Jeez. Get Bill out of here. Oh my gosh, Bill, I'm sorry. Oh geez.
And you might just be that, but please don't say it on our channel, Bill.
Oh my gosh, Bill. Jeez, keep it clean. This is family rated. This is a family show. All right, so Twitter's not allowing me to go down on my Twitter thread there. So I'm going to pull up this because I want to make sure that we understand that this is not just about AT&T, because that is the story, right? That is, what we're looking at. And what I want to do is I want to kind of come back here a little bit on my Trust the Plan thread. The Trust the Plan thread is a pretty amazing thread. It's my second thread in regards to the Patriots, okay? Let me see if I can go all the way up. Trust the plan. I tell you, you guys got to trust it. Hang on. Let me get it. Bill. Gosh, he's trying to help, but he's just such a pain in the butt. Get out of here, Bill. All right. So, it's taking a long time to load here, but here it is. Let me just drop it in. I don't know if anybody already grabbed it, but this is the second thread into the Patriots, connecting everything that's happening today into the Patriots, right? So you guys remember Q's gavel, right? Everybody remembers Q's gavel. It's still on Patriots Fight right now. Here it is. That's Q's gavel, right? So this is the new thread on Patriots Fight. And it says future comms, pre-stage election, yes. Pre-stage election security, yes. Pre-stage TIR, yes. Pre-stage cap, yes. On, ready, Q. And interestingly enough, when I Googled and put that picture into the, silver, what is it called? Oh my gosh, the reverse image lookup. Okay, I put it in there and I found an article posted on May 11th, 2009, and it's called Restoring Trust and Antitrust Enforcement. Now, I know everybody's saying, I want to arrest Hillary, I want to arrest these people, Comey, I want to arrest all of them, but do you realize it's something much bigger than just arresting, criminals for treason? This is going to get the whole gang, everybody, up to and including the Federal Reserve System, the Depository Trust Corporation, DTCC, the clearinghouse, everything. This is so much bigger than just arresting a couple of people. This is actually getting our country back into into the Treasury. Shady, the 1221, right? What was that?
Right.
Tell us what the 1221 thing was.
So the executive order on 1221 that basically brought all of this under the ability to investigate. Okay, so opening up, say the from one side of the spectrum to the other, any types of crimes against humanity. Crimes against humanity is very easily considered what they have done to us over the last 100 years, taking everything, backing it by a Federal Reserve, pretending like it's part of your government when it really isn't, confusing you, and then being a third-party system to make your money for you when the Constitution said you should make your own money, then charge you interest, which now you've reached a point that you cannot pay and are not paying the interest on every year. And they're dictating to you what the value of your money is. So this executive order opens us right up to the whole trust, what we're getting ready to go into today.
Yes, and this is very important, right? So Sun Lin says, Kiwi Patriots, so true. Just wish they would stop attacking intheMatrixxx and Shady Grooove. They don't deserve it, but I know why they're doing it, because they have the truth. Nobody else is showing you that the Charleston, Cincinnati, and Chicago company is the parent for the Federal Reserve System. Okay, and AT&T that we just talked about. Nobody is connecting the Bushes, which are Paysors, that have basically helped the Paysors along. He was also on a train engine called 4141. 55 trains, Paysors, get it? I mean, nobody else is talking.
Springs, Texas.
Spring, Texas, he went through. Yes. Spring. Nobody is telling you exactly what we're telling you. Maybe they're jealous. I'm not sure, but we're going to stay the course. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. Okay.
The president is pointing right to this.
Absolutely. as you know, we have to basically follow the president's tweets, right?
Correct.
So what I noticed, here's the executive order, right? This is what Shady was just talking about, okay? It's executive order blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption, okay? All those monies go into the Treasury, not Hillary Clinton's, foundation, not Loop Capital,
right?
Our bank, guys.
Treasury.
The Treasury, the United States Treasury, okay? They never thought she would lose, and that's for sure, okay? The one thing, too, is that we got to remember, and here's the results for the TinEye search, okay? June 26th, they used it. May 11th, 2009, restoring trust and antitrust enforcement. That was the first time Q's gavel was ever used on the internet. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, right? And then pointing out single ownership of leading to the Federal Reserve antitrust violation, the Fed and the IRS. Fact, the U.S. Federal Reserve is a privately owned company sitting on its very own patch of land immune to U.S. laws. And that is at the bottom of this Q post right here, 138.
A couple other locations out there like that, too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. A few. Washington, D.C., the Vatican.
City of London.
The City of London. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Very well done.
So these are the locations. These are the locations on planet Earth. Think about this right now, where they're outside of the purview of the country or landmass they are in. The Vatican, Washington, D.C., Federal Reserve, the City of London. Switzerland is a neutral country. Reconcile, Anons.
That's right. Vatican Bank, $229 billion. So, again.
Vatican guards guard the Vatican. Swiss guards guard the Vatican.
Swiss guards. Absolutely right, Shady. And also, what else do you got? You got the Pesos via the Rothschilds, French bankers, bought the Vatican for $400 million in the 1870s, guys. Okay?
So the Vatican's not real moral compass?
No.
Oh.
No.
So we are going after the Vatican here.
So now we're looking at Executive Order 13526. What's 1 plus 3? That's 4. What's 5? That's 9, 10, 11.
I'm not doing math on the radio.
That's 17. That's 17, Shady. And Section 17, classification, prohibitions, and limitations. In no case shall information be classified. Continue to be maintained as declassified or fail to be declassified in order to restrain competition, guys. Antitrust. Okay?
Antitrust.
This is bigger than just taking down Comey, right?
Understand. It has nothing to do with that.
Understand.
This is so much bigger.
This is so much bigger. And Q has said that this is much bigger than we realize, and I think we're starting to realize it. I know that there's probably a lot more darker, dismal, gross things, right, that we can't comprehend with our minds because we don't think the way that these sickos think, But there are three key entities, right? The three key entities are key, right? So Congress oversees the Federal Reserve. Really? So in Q Post 2495, together we win. Senate was the target, 53 to 47. So what Rothschild doesn't know, that was the vote count. That was it. That's what we know. The Senate was the key. And why is the Senate the key? In order to restructure, we've got Congress over the Board of Governors, the Federal Reserve Banks, and the Open Market Committee. Okay.
Correct.
This is what we need to change is the structure, guys. Okay. We're not going to end the Fed like what Ron Paul and I, actually agreed with, but we're going to restructure it to benefit you and I, guys, we the people. And I think that's what our president is doing, right?
It's going to be taken away from the monopoly and given to the Treasury. It's pretty simple.
That's right. And Donald Trump said very sad day and night in Paris. Maybe it's time to end the ridiculous, extremely expensive Paris Agreement and return money back to the people in the form of lower taxes. The U.S. was way ahead of the curve and the only major country where emissions went down last year. So we're looking at some of this stuff, think Paris Accord, Paris Accord, scam trillions, guys. He's getting us out of these scams that the deep states have us in. Okay. It's happening, guys. It's happening. And reason why I'm kind of going over this is because we've got some stuff today. Okay. Remember when Google, do you trust Google?
Nope.
I don't trust Google either. So that would be antitrust. And that's actually how that's how I got this thread, because I was looking at trust. Let's look at trust, trust Sessions, trust Ray, trust. And I'm like, what is, this one? Do you trust the MSM? Do you trust Facebook? Do you trust Google? Do you trust YouTube? No, I don't. So then I Googled antitrust. And this is what I came up with. Okay. And then look at this. There was a monopoly man behind the CEO of Google. Antitrust, guys. You guys are starting to see the picture, right? All right, so that's very interesting. Senators are worth millions of dollars. How does MW live in a $4 million home? How many past current politicians have foundations or institutes? Corrupt, broken, traitors, justice, jail, death, Q. This is what's coming, right? So then we found the Depository Trust Corporation, right? The Depository Trust Corporation is on 55 Watch the Water Street. 55 Water, Watch the Water, clear, comprende? And that was very interesting too, because they cleared $1.71 quadrillion in 2017 with a Q.
How much?
Quadrillion with a Q.
No, like how much?
With a Q.
A quadrillion.
Quadrillion.
Okay, so let's just make sure that penetrates the conversation here. Quadrillion in what amount of time?
1 year.
1 year.
1 year.
Okay.
So they are the clearinghouse, and they were also set up in 2010 underneath some other things too, and we can get to that quickly if we just quickly roll through this thread. But I think it's
good that we just bring it back up and let's maybe some new people that haven't heard some of this stuff see what we're talking about and maybe understand a little bit clearer why there's so many people out there that don't like what we're saying,
Yep.
or that we're going places to talk about it.
And so Depository Trust Corporation HQ is located on 55 Watch the Water Street in New York City, right? Why is this mega monopolizer so hidden from public scrutiny? It turns out it's part of the Federal Reserve Bank, guys. Big surprise, huh? Big surprise. Big surprise. This is the clearing corporation right here. They've been a little busy. It turns out that this company holds $23 trillion in assets. Where have we seen 23 in pain before? And $917 trillion worth of transaction in 2000 alone. Now, and that's 2002. So that's trillions, as in thousands and thousands of millions. Okay.
Can I just tangent off here just a second?
Do it.
And talk about your guy, all the people that are watching this, and you're seeing what we're talking about. We're talking about Google, we're talking about monopolies and all this big companies things. And you see this in the DTCC and the 1.6 quadrillion. You're like, oh my goodness, like where are all these? Okay, let's stop. Let me bring this to you for just a second. Americans, patriots that are out there, have a social security number. You have marriage certificates, you have contracts, you have instrument contracts, you have deeds, you have debt. All of those things are instruments and contracts. You know what? Those are all what this would consider to be theirs. So this right here, what you're seeing here, trades in all contract forms. So those contracts that you have, your social security number is a contract. It is like your title, like the car title, or like your birth certificate is your title. So these things are you. This entity trades in you, guys. You are the most productive thing ever to exist on the face of planet Earth. You have accrued more capital than any middle class income earning group ever in the history of planet Earth. And you are the ones that are being directly attacked through this type of monopoly to steal you and sell your wealth to the rest of the world through the bloodline trust, guys. That's how this connects to you.
That's right. And do you know what mortgage stands for? Muerte is death, and gauge is a contract or a gauge, right? So it's a death gauge. It's a death contract. Muerte gauge. They put it all in the words for you guys. So, another thing that I wanted to show you too, and this is KLC. I want to always give hat tips to people that help, right? And this is KLC. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's pretty amazing. He said, look at this. Their system is a Y, right? You've got the investors, selling broker, buying broker, exchange, marketplace, NCC, NSCC, DTCC, and the settling bank. That's their structure. But I also noticed something up at the top. It said, for most securities and trades, this occurs the same business day as the trade occurs. This is called T+0. Although not long ago, it took 1 to 3 days, referred to as T+3. And then also, I'm going to get to that in 1 second, but I want to show you this too. Their need for symbolism will be their downfall. Follow the Y head around the world and the owl. The owl is on the back of your US dollar bill. Okay. So the Y could also be the railroad companies, and the owl is the Federal Reserve System.
The 12.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yep.
Their need for symbolism will be their downfall. Follow the owl and Y head around the world. Identify and list. They don't hide it. They don't fear you. You are sheep to them. You are feeders. Godfather 3, Q.
And that is exactly how they perceive you. And that is why they can do this to you. And that is how they've been able to steal your wealth. And the next thing you know, we have all Americans living in cities and not a lot of people making a living on farms and being sovereign.
This is why we're attacked, guys. This is what we're presenting to people, okay? This is the information we are presenting. Now you see why we're attacked? Question mark? Okay, next. Let's do this. For most securities and trades, remember it's T+0, right? We showed you that graphic, but did you remember this? T plus Q placed together. What a coincidence. The more you know. Q. Do you remember this? Do you remember the stockings? Do you remember that? And an anon says, scot-free equals where we go one, we go all. Q0 equals Q plus. Q0 equals Q plus. And at what point do they wake up? Q. And then Q says, confirmed, 0 or O made into a Q. More to find over time. Happy hunting. Now, happy hunting in this thread we found leads to antitrust. Okay.
And then happy hunting of each of these large monopolistic corporations.
That's right.
Around the planet, guys, like to follow the Y around the planet, follow the money, the dollars. Look at the dollars that have been created and generated and put around the planet in the last 40 years. And when Mr. Trump was coming to office, he was saying we're going to give people the opportunity to repatriate their money because the current structure, the tax structure, was preventing them, anyone in America, from bringing your money back to America. Why would that be if you were not there to enslave a nation?
And here
Makes
we go.
No sense.
This is it, too. Look at the 522 post. D_C STBA. Is that DTCs to be announced? Yes. Authorization H7 PZB VTZ 7302. 7302 makes some sense too later. And it says hashtag fly, hashtag owls. Hot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. As the world turns, happy hunting, antitrust. P personal, we are with you. No one left behind. For God and country. Jeremiah 29:11, and Jeremiah 29:11 says we're not going to hurt the children. We're not going to hurt you. But now what does that mean? Okay, look at this. Federal Reserve banks, the owls, there's 12 of them. Okay? Then you've got the DTCC, storm is upon us. Brexit, systemic risk and concern. They went into APAC in Japan in 2010. Okay? This is what we're learning, right? Structure change coming. All right? This is the one, the Fed plan, the plan to have the Fed raise rates steep incline beginning March 2019 in an effort to kill the economy prior to 2020 presidential election is known and planned for. Structure change coming. Federal Reserve ending? Structure. Q. Okay, so we know that it's going to be a structure change. Owls. Light will overcome darkness. Light will expose darkness. Light will reveal darkness. Light will defeat darkness. And this is about the Federal Reserve structure.
And so now you can see a little bit of the clues where Q is pointing us to the Federal Reserve, to the bloodlines. The bloodlines use the Federal Reserve to enslave us as a central banking structure and then convinced everyone that it was part of your government.
That's
It's unbelievable how many people, you go through school after school, generation after generation after generation, the schools just forget this stuff. You're told a completely different way your economy works. You're not even given a civics class hardly anymore. You can tell by the way you talk to people, they don't even understand how your system works. Well, how are they going to stand up and support the idea of an electoral college if they don't even know what one is? It's systematic dumbing down, and we forget.
So Dodd-Frank had a stress test in 2018. And this is why I don't like titles. It says 8chan infrastructure stress test failed. I don't think that that's what that meant. Okay. I think it meant about the depository trust system. Okay. And the Dodd-Frank Act stress test failed. Okay. And this is the Dodd-Frank Act stress test. It tells you that it failed. The methodology failed. And here it is. Structure. Okay. This is why, we need to, not look at the top, 8chan infrastructure. That may or may not be what it's for. Multiple meanings, as we know on all Q posts. I'm not, bad mouthing it per se, but I'm just saying we need to just, let Q's words speak for themselves, because a post could have multiple meanings, as we all know. HRC, Clinton Foundation taking over. 182, is it possible the Clintons have turned on the Rothschilds? The fly, eagle, fly may have been a veiled threat directed towards the Clintons, a we know type thing. And Q says, what does the owl represent to certain cults? Okay. Then we go to this, Q 1841. He's asking us, Q team are asking us, they're asking us to define antitrust laws. Who's talking about antitrust? Anybody? Anybody else?
Nope.
Is anybody else talking about antitrust?
Nope. No. Is anyone else talking about pay sewer?
Is anybody else, instead of attacking Patriots, rereading and looking at Q?
Nope.
No. Well, that's what we're doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
You're doing pretty good, too.
We're doing pretty good.
Am I doing all right?
You're doing great. Hey, YouTube, how we doing out there? Give us a Q17 if we're doing good.
We're following.
We're following
this information. We're following information. We're not waiting. I'm not sitting around waiting for more posts. The president is doing it. He's in Britain right now. Brexit is May was just thrown out. All of Europe just changed into a populist reality. The idea of globalism is dying. Can you believe it, Matrixx? We are here a year and a half into this operation, and the idea of globalism on the world scale is dying, man.
Dying.
That's happening.
Dying. But we're not doing as good as some people, according to one comment out there. All right, so define antitrust laws, right? It's the Sherman Act that outlaws every contract, combination, or conspiracy or restraint of trade. And any monopolization or conspiracy or combination to monopolize. The FTC's competition mission is to enforce rules of the competitive marketplace, right? The antitrust laws. These laws promote vigorous competition and protect consumers from anti-competitive mergers and business practices. Reconcile Google, Facebook, Twitter. Change we can believe in, and I think we have some Q proofs today about that, don't we, Shady?
Well, there was some news that might unlock a map out there somewhere today. Did you see any of that?
And we will get to that, my friend. So let's do a recap here, right? So we found Y, correlation to the railroads and the Federal Reserve Bank. Recap, Pesur, railroads, Y, DTCC, water, Y, Federal Reserve, owls, 1.61 quadrillion in 2017. Q gavel pick is antitrust. 5-5, guys. Here's from their site. This is from the depository trust site.
Imagine that.
Huh. And 1.61 is 17. Interesting. And then this is your North American Railroad family trees, right? There you go. Looks like a Y. Here's your owl again, guys, for the Federal Reserve. Note that, and remember, propaganda in history is always on the smallest denomination of the bill. That way, the most richest person in the country can get it, and the poorest can get the actual propaganda. Okay?
Yeah, and that way the spell carries to every person.
That's right. That's right. So, and I wanted to, Brad, thank you, brother. Doing recaps is very important. I appreciate you, Brad. You're amazing patriot. Thank you, sir. This is time, 17:45. In fact, if you know that Q is 17 and POTUS is 45, let's add 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus 5 up. Shady, what is that?
1 plus 7 is 8. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17.
Wow. I'm sure that's.
Did I do that right?
I think you did. I think that's also a coincidence, right, guys? All right. So this is, POTUS in Saudi Arabia, all of that. This is, let's see what he's actually doing. So, we went over a lot of QAnon drops regarding the antitrust. Let's see what Donald Trump is actually doing. Q59. Remember, information is everything. The flow of information is no longer controlled by the MSM, but by you and others. Okay. This is it. This is an article. Fox Business. Trump, while acknowledging companies like Google are great companies, said he's considering antitrust action very seriously, specifically against Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Big problems. Q. All right. So we knew about this. We knew this is coming, guys. Anons knew. You guys knew if you guys have been following along, right? So this is another one. OPEC's mockery of antitrust laws cost Americans $250 billion. Right? Guess who's there? I believe that's, isn't that Mr. Good Latte right there? So he says this. Hopefully, the administration will double down on this and come up with a position in support of the American consumer and making it easier for the antitrust division to take action when the price fixing matters going on a basic commodity that affects the standard of living and virtually every American, Goodlot said. Okay. These people, we know, we hear about them. We know who they are, right? This is Q Post 242 talking about the role of Goodlotty, the role of Gowdy. Goodlotty, Gowdy, and Sessions all resigned. Goodlotty, Gowdy, and Sessions all resigned. Okay. Let's see what here is chairman assignments. This is the House Committee of Judiciary, right? This is Bob Goodlot. What does he focus on? Amendments. Antitrust. He's on the committee antitrust task force. Antitrust, guys. Antitrust. And here is Bob Goodlotty, represents the 6th district. Look at the antitrust in there as well, guys. Okay. This is the information that's flowing. Trump's antitrust enforcer considers shifting up a gear. This is Joseph Simmons. Joseph Simmons says, but now at the beginning of my 3rd stint, let me just go to that actual article, guys, because I have bad eyes. Here it is here. Joseph Simmons. And this article is entitled, Trump's Antitrust Enforcer Considers Shifting Up a Gear. And if we go down here, let me see if I can make this bigger for you all too. There we go. All right. So, and we were talking about AT&T. Remember all that? Google, Facebook, and Amazon. Okay, and let me find the exact quote that I wanted to show you guys. All right, we do this with the goal of understanding our current enforcement policies are all on the right track or on the wrong track. If they were on the wrong track, what shall we do to improve them? He said nothing, that he was keeping a very open mind. Let me just say, this concerns... All right. Basically, but now at the beginning of my 3rd stint at the commission, things have shifted. The broad antitrust consensus that has existed within the antitrust community in a relatively stable form for about 25 years is being challenged, guys. It's being challenged. And what do we need for antitrust? We need the Senate. We need the Supreme Court, because this is a crime of all crimes, guys.
And it can be proven.
Right. So this is it. And this is my happy hunting thread. Okay. I started noticing that when QAnon says happy hunting, it's looking to be, at this point, it appeared 14 times, but it's been 2 or 3 more times after. And I think it's a major clue. And every time I looked at it, there's something to do with something to do with antitrust. So if we look at Traversy Management, happy hunting. Okay, there's Q Post 200. Let's look at it. Well, here's Traversy Management. Facebook, maybe they're involved with antitrust. Okay, Hollywood, Okay. Ziegler Investments, Summit Entertainment. Okay.
No known players there.
Real D, SpaceX, Twitter, Snapchat, Playboy, Vessel, Flipboard, Key Air, Jawbone.
Yeah, definitely clean.
Yep. Now we've got Keyhole, right? Keyhole, happy hunting, 216. Well, what was Keyhole? It was from In-Q-Tel, right? There it is, In-Q-Tel. And you've got Plantier, Keyhole, Apple.
Oh, the same
Google,
non-players.
Facebook, Microsoft, D-Wave, Twitter. Okay? Happy hunting. Happy hunting, guys.
What are we hunting, guys? We're hunting the trust.
We're hunting the trusts, guys. Not just Comey, not just Hillary. Understand this, guys.
Bloodlines.
Sidley Austin. Happy hunting.
Monopolies.
Well, look at this. He's an antitrust competition lawyer firm. Amazing. Happy hunting. Rockefeller Foundation, Asia. Interesting about this post, it was December 17th. I was looking up Rockefeller and Asia Foundation, right? And here it is. The Asia Foundation, it said CIA, bop, 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 bop. Happy hunting. I found this on December 17th. In Asia, Rockefeller Foundation wants to invite unusual actors to the table. We always see our resources as high-risk capital, and we want to be the first movers and shakers taking those risks and getting something up and running, i.e. get it done first. 75 million smart power for rural development. Could be antitrust, right? Thank you, Matrixxx and Shady. Much love and blessings. Jana, thank you so much. Very much appreciated. And then right here, Rockefeller, in partnership with the Asia Foundation, is in conversations with the Thai Ministry for Foreign Affairs to provide technical support in creation of a center of sustainable development based in Bangkok. Again, they probably want to get in first so they can get in first, right? All right.
And you can just imagine what's really going on here. I mean, we're showing you a little bit of an overview. We're not even digging deep into this stuff. We're just kind of giving you guys the surface to see, like, you know, this is what he and I have been talking about, that everyone can't seem to come to the conversation, whether it's on the boards, whether it's on Twitter, YouTube. No one else seems to think this stuff is as important as we do, and as we watch the president tweet about it.
Loop Capital, we know that the CEO is a Reynolds from the Reynolds bloodline. Happy hunting. Okay. Secure Drops, Antitrust, 630 Spooky, Q, Happy Hunting Anonymous, the Set the Truth Free. And I thought this was very amazing because I'm like, spooky. So I Googled spooky and antitrust. And guess what? Wait, where is it?
Oh, yeah, it's a secure job.
Am I on the wrong one here? Here it is. Tales from the Antitrust Crypt. When and why some cases and transactions take a turn for the worse. Celebrate Halloween with Howard Dykema's Antitrust and Trade Regulation Group. He will explore how spooky documents, scary emails, and testimony from goblin witnesses can change the course of a transaction or case in unexpected and frightening ways. But with every trick, there's a treat. We will also discuss the counsel on how to avoid legal nightmares. No costumes required. Happy hunting. Spooky. Spooky. And then obviously we've got the secure drop. Happy hunting. 4 a.m. talking points, right? Happy hunting.
5-5, Anons.
All right. So you guys are getting it, right? Do you need another one?
They're getting it.
Here's another one. Happening now. Happy hunting. UN. Who audits and clears the auditors? The Board of Auditors at the United Nations. Money laundering, antitrust, happy hunting.
You have more than you know.
A lot more. And at this time, there was only 5,926 or 29 resignations. Whew, we got a lot more.
Now there's like, I think almost 10, right? Or over 9, or close to 9.
Yeah, almost 9,000.
Almost 9, yeah.
Digest. Next. What CEOs have resigned post-POTUS election? Cross-check against companies in Iran post-deal. You have more than you know. Say it with me, Shady. Happy hunting.
Happy hunting.
You guys get this now, right? So the CEOs are involved in antitrust. That's why they have to resign.
Because they have no choice.
They have no choice. Happy hunting.
And
right.
A lot of what you're seeing, in my opinion, right now, what's going on in England with the president being there is is the ending of these contracts. You know, it's the resetting of our system. I think it's happening, and I think that the next few weeks are going to be pretty magnificent to see the results of the exposure. Obviously, we have to expose this stuff in the public square first, but once people start coming to this conversation, there's a tremendous amount of people out there who do not understand what's going on with Q that are red pilled. So there's a big connect that's coming, the intersection that's coming with all the conspiracy people that are kind of like not been paying attention to Q, that know all about the Federal Reserve and the central banking system, that we're going to be able to plug this in pretty quick together and march forward kind of fast, I think.
That's right. And we got the 522. Notice the happy hunting. Antitrust, guys. You feeling me now, right? You guys are with me. You guys are with me.
The hunters become the hunted.
Here's another one. What a wonderful day. ES in the front row. Google Access Kills. JC, happy hunting D. Ooh, that's a different one. There's a D. Why is there a D? All right, so here's Google. This, in order to sell your insider trades, you have to fill out an SEC Form D. 55. There it is.
News unlocks the map.
News unlocks the map. And it's a SEC Form D. Let me just get to that. SEC Form 4. A, B, C, D. Got it? Happy hunting? Google. Antitrust. All right, 282. I have a question. 10 Days of Darkness. When? Shutdown. Define shutdown. ATL. We got some of this here. Shutdown. This was around that shutdown before Christmas, if you recall. I don't know why I threw that in there, but it's in there. Here's define the there is an HR 5404 on 3/22/18 to define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold. Yes, gold shall destroy the Fed. Trust the plan, guys. This is the bill that they had in the Congress there about, the gold. Okay?
Trust the plan. Trust is the plan.
That's right. So I'm going to kind of cruise. David Rothschild blocked me. Sorry, guys. Here's his family. There you go. He blocked me. Keep going, right? This is another happy hunting really quick. I guess this is the Russia-Iran deal, right? So this goes into Iran, where Renault and Rosatom wanted to do this. This is where I believe the bankers and whatnot wanted to set up their their operations in Iran, hence that big Iran deal. You had Renault, Peugeot, and other French companies in there. POTUS cut the strings. They had to move out, guys. So POTUS actually cut the strings to all this.
That deal had nothing to do with Iran's nuclear capabilities. It was all about getting deep state business ties going in Iran.
Yep, absolutely. Then Mitt Romney. Happy hunting. And we know that that was an attack on Ms. Ann Coulter, right? And here you go.
She was all concerned for Mitt.
Here's the greed and debt, this true story of Mitt Romney and Bain Capital. I guess I can find antitrust in there, I'm sure, right, Shady?
I bet so.
There it is, right in the Rolling Stone. And from the time the monopolists were reined in with antitrust laws through the days when men like Mitt Romney's dad exited center stage in our economy, the America's social contract was pretty consistent. The rich got to stay rich, often filthy rich, but paid taxes and a living wage, and everyone else rose at least a little bit along with them. Antitrust. There you go, Mitt Romney. Oh, and guess what? She has a book called In Trump We Trust, and now she doesn't trust Trump, so now she's antitrust. Right? I mean, happy hunting, guys.
We're building the wall every day, and she's decided to be mad because we're not building the wall. Have you noticed that?
And he talked about, Q says, wire transferring are a convenient way of transferring money. He does own a wire transfer company. Okay. Also, here is the U.S. Versus Bain Capital, and this is about what is it? What do you think it's about, Shady? What do you think this case is about? Antitrust. You just can't make this stuff up, right? Already, Bain Capital prepping to take 18 billion memory chip unit public. Oh, but you know what? There was a antitrust thing about that as well. The Chinese government initially objected to approve the deal over antitrust concerns, guys. Happy hunting.
This is why it's important to connect. This is why Q was necessary.
And
to
this
connect this stuff.
Is right from Q's gavel, guys.
Yep. We have strayed not very far from the source.
And I haven't seen this on the 8chan, which has been totally hijacked, guys. Totally hijacked. And there's Patriots fight right there. Oops. There we go. That's what it looks like on Patriots fight. In fact, we can do that right now. We can go to, Q Research, Patriots fight. Here we go. Patriots fight board. Where's my gavel?
It's still there. It's probably taking a second to load.
There it is. There's my gavel, guys. There's your gavel.
And there's your placeholders.
And there's your placeholders, guys. Look at this. We will have our country, guys. Happy hunting. News will unlock. So this is it today, guys.
When was this?
Today.
Happy
hunting. News will unlock the map. Do you trust the MSM? Do you trust Facebook? Do you trust Google? Do you trust YouTube? Do you trust Twitter? No, I don't.
Nope, I don't either.
And right on the Drudge Report, the government is threatening big tech and market just took notice. Man, we knew it a long time ago, though, Shady, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And there's a lot of people starting to take notice, especially the higher ups. This is, we're getting ready to connect all of this to being part of the government, guys. That's what this is going towards. We're connecting. We're getting ready to connect these companies to your government. The surveillance state is right here in front of you.
Then we've got GE, which is one of the original pay sewer companies, guys. Okay? GE is one of the, I'll repeat it, original pay sewer companies, guys. They absorbed the railroads. They're a power company. They're Philips also in alleged China medical equipment scheme. So now we got the SEC looking into these folks, guys. Antitrust. Happy hunting.
Trust the plan.
Trust it, guys.
Because we got to get rid of them.
Here's the Reuters article. There it is. Investigation into the company's business in China, along with existing SEC probe into their Brazil, are part of a new effort by U.S. regulators to crack down on alleged corruption in sales of costly medical equipment worldwide, said the sources who spoke on the condition of I can never say that. Anonymity. Anonymity. I still can't do it.
You still listen.
Because they were not authorized to discuss the investigation publicly. The SEC declined the comment. Siemens, GE, and Philips all denied wrongdoing and said that they were unaware of any SEC investigation concerning their operations in China. So it is.
We thought we could operate in China without anybody investigating us ever.
We are doing it, guys. We are winning. This is not just about arresting Hillary Clinton. Also, New York Fed market chief steps down. Also, New York Fed loses top officers in rare double exit. Wow. Are we going to see a structure change, guys? Is a structure change coming?
Are the resignations intentional right now? Look at how everything is being shifted. They're getting ready to have to drop rates. They have no choice. They wanted to raise rates, and now the president's put this back in their lap. Look at what the market is doing. Look at what we're doing with tariffs. The tariffs that we're giving to China and Mexico now are going to justify a rate drop. Inflation is steady. There's nothing they can do. They are trapped, Matrixxx. They are trapped right here, and all we have to do is keep stepping towards them and exposing them to more people every day. It's opening up. They cannot hide anymore. There's no mirrors or curtains to hide behind. We've removed them all.
Yeah. I mean, look at that, guys. Look at that. I'm telling you right now, dudes, that we are actually winning. And we actually are figuring out the truth. And, I'm hoping a bunch of great Anons continue to dig on this with me, and with us and with you, because there's stuff happening every day.
Right. Yeah. This guy here, just to say real quick, the guy that just stepped down Potter had been seen in some quarters as a potential contender to take the helm in New York before Williams, who was the head of San Francisco Fed, won the pick. New York Fed is the most important of the 12 regional Fed banks because of its oversight of Wall Street and execution of monetary policy via the desk that Potter ran. Head of the New York Fed also wields a permanent vote on the central bank's interest rate setting Federal Open Market Committee and its panel's vice chair. This is not just some guy, okay? These are big, high up people who are controlled clown assets who are being picked off one by one right under your nose.
Right under your nose.
And it's happening and no one's noticing. Why? Because we want our country to stay intact to some degree. We don't want to destroy it, getting the swamp out of it. Like we're trying to pull the parasite off and save the life of the animal, the creature that the parasite's sucking on.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is them. Look at that. There's Simon Potter. So this is it, guys. I'm telling you, we are on it.
That was a big morning for the Drudge Report. I was like, wow.
I know, really? Like Drudge, right? But we're the news now. You guys out there are all the news now. And with that, let's just take a quick break with Where We Go One, We Go All.
Let's do it.
And we love the name. Got the bodies in the dirt, needing someone to blame. A batch of greed and money to spare. They put the dollars in the coffers and the lies in the air. Where we go one, we go all. I won't push you down, you won't let me fall. One day for sure we will stand tall. Where we go one, we go all. Trust the plan because we have it all, and that fate is in our hands. Had a reason to fool us, but we didn't take the bait. Wanna take us to hell, but we got guns at the gate. Where we go one, we go all. I won't push you down, you won't let me fall. One day for sure we will stand tall. Where we go one.
Where we go one, we go all by the JT Wild. Thank you, JT, for that. And I love this version. You know why?
Why?
Because of our billboard in Times Square that all the Anons went crazy. See, here's Joe M's meme. He just makes memes. We actually make them come true. Boom.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boom. And that's why we're attacked, guys. That is why. And we're not stopping. We're not canceling nothing. We're going to go talk to everybody. We love you. Where we go one, we go all means where we go one, we go some. Shady?
Not some.
Some.
No.
Only who I want.
Nope.
Only the people in my boat.
Nope.
All?
All.
All. All right, guys.
We're going to save this planet, guys. Thanks to everybody for being here. We're going to have to turn into a molecule. We got to get out of here. Look at that sauce we brought you today. Dig into that stuff. It's right out there. It's open source.
We go all, Shady.
Let's go get it.
We go all, guys, and thank you very much. I'm just going to go ahead and just play one little outro video. Then we're going to break it down. But I really, guys, because of these shill attacks, we've lost a little bit of Patreons. But it's okay. You know, we'll get them back once the truth is revealed. But if you would like to buy us a cup of coffee, go ahead and buy us a cup of coffee right there on Patreon. This is my real name. I am Jeffrey Peterson, attacked every day, doxxed by the deep state, on Q's top 200 Patriot list. This is my PayPal. Thank you very much, guys. And with that, I'm just going to play this real quick because I think this is cool. Bring the pain, and we're going to continue to bring the pain. And with that, thank you, Patriots, for coming to the Matrixxx Groove Hour today, where we went over antitrust and some facts that people are just not talking about. Let's keep digging, Anons. United, not divided. Reread Q. Where we go one, we go all. Peace out, everybody. Much love. See you tomorrow. Paul Saran.